Welcome to Dominant Mets Nation. And just like that, our New York Mets are on a one-game winning streak. And all is right in Mets land. Well, not really, but the Mets, coming off a doubleheader today against the Detroit Tigers, come away with one win and are now 1-5. And you know what? It wasn't pretty. It wasn't really, I don't want to say entertaining, but I found myself feeling, you know what? This is a little boring, a little boring. But at the end of the day, that's the brand of baseball the Mets right now kind of signed up for right now. Okay. All right. So let's get into little bit of the analysis. I want to get into JD Martinez. I want to comment about the JD Martinez situation, but I want to look at the Mets right now, kind of going forward. What do these two games signify with regards to the season as a whole? All right. Before we get into that breakdown, please, as always, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, uh, join the channel. Why not? Why not? Also, drop a comment too. Love to hear from you. If I haven't heard from you, you got to drop a comment. I want to hear everybody's thoughts, everybody's opinions. Okay, so let's get to the first game. And the first game, to be honest, I was at work. I was working till 2 o'clock today, so I was checking my phone. I'm like, oh, wow, the Mets, they're up 2-0. And then I get the highlights. Alvarez, okay, he rips a double. Looking good. Beatty drives in a run, and the Mets, what do you know? Up 3-0. Adrian Hauser, he's pitching pretty decent, for what we got him for a number 4 or 5 starter. All right, let's see. Maybe this is signify a little bit of the changing of the guard. We have our new lineup. Alvarez batting fourth. Beatty fifth. Okay, all right. We got something going here. Something brewing. Then, as the game progressed, the Brewers tack on a couple more runs. I get home, 8th inning. I literally get home. I turn on the TV. I'm like, oh no, it's 3-2. Oh wow, this is pretty close. Literally a minute later, Ottavino throws the pitch and tie ball game 3-3. At that point right now, I knew we lost all momentum and the game was probably over. All right, I was still holding out hope. 9th inning, Nimmo gets on base, steals a bag. Surprise steal. Nimmo's not used to being a guy who steals a lot of bases, but we have a man on second base, bottom of the 9th inning, no outs. Perfect time for us to cash in. Perfect time for Edwin Diaz to get that win. And Lindor was up, struck out. Alvarez didn't do the job, and I gotta say, that was our opportunity. Then we went to the 10th inning. Nobody scored in the 10th inning. And in the 11th inning, the not Milwaukee Brewers, Detroit Tigers score 3 runs, put it way out of reach. We had our opportunities. We certainly did. And at the end of the day, this is the type of game I was saying in my head. I'm like, if we just had that extra bat, that JD Martinez, I think that it could have been enough, because this game really kind of signified what we're missing in the lineup. It is extremely painful for Nimmo and Lindor to be playing the way they're playing right now. You see, Nimmo gets on base. Nimmo got on base in the 9th inning. That almost jump-started the inning, but it's a big killer. Lindor right behind him strikes out. And then it's just hard to rely on, Alvarez. Alvarez at that time, he had an opportunity in the bottom of the 9th inning, and I believe he grounded it to a double play. But it's just tough. He was having a great game, and I can't put all that pressure on the kid. In fact, right now, current up-to-date stats, there's only 2 guys in the entire team right now batting above 290. 290. So you have Pete Alonso batting 292. He's got 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. Whoop-de-doo. And you have Francisco Alvarez batting 400. 1 home run, 4 RBIs. On base 429. Slug 700. OPS 1129. And he has 8 hits. Pete Alonso has 7. So those two guys right there, that's your offense right now. That is your offense. It's hard to win when you just have two guys going right. But another note, in that game, the pitching is something that I gotta say was pretty decent. If we pitch like that, we're going to win games. We're going to win games. Um, like I already mentioned, Adrian Hauser pitched 5 innings, only allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, pitching ERA to 1.8. Drew Smith, uh, 2/3 of an inning, look good. Brooks Raley, look good. Jorge Lopez, decent. Edwin Diaz, I gotta say, Edwin Diaz, he was mixing his pitches, throwing his fastball from 92 to 98 miles per hour with nasty movement. So Edwin Diaz looks like he's working himself up there. And, I like what I see from the pitching. So game one was a game. We had our opportunities. And I think that is a game, once we have good mojo and we're into the flow of things, we can win. We should have won. We should have won both games. Now, you carry into the second game, and I got to say, after losing that first game and after being 0-5 on the season, there's a lot of bad energy, a lot of bad feelings. So that usually kind of like steamrolls, and that kind of leads to us not playing well. So we went through a big hitless streak. I forgot how many innings they said we were hitless, but we weren't having a lot of hits at all. Luckily, we had a pretty decent pitching performance, and I was actually pretty surprised by both these guys. Jose Budo, 6 innings. The final line, he gave up 3 hits, 6 strikeouts. I mean, this is why I want to bring up young guys. This is what they present. That was a big boost. That's a big boost. And Reed Garrett, 3 innings pitch. I clap hands to this guy. 3 innings, 0 earned runs. And that's what really kept us in the game. And as a whole, besides the 11th inning, our pitchers did great. I got to say we did great. It's still relying on the offense. Pete Alonso, one of the only few guys doing well. And that's what we needed. We came back in the 9th inning, and I got to give us really credit because that's not a game I felt like we were going to win. I really did it. I'm hoping this come from behind win, although boring, although, there was a lot left to be desired, especially by the offense. We pitched well, number one, and we pitched well. Really, you could really categorize most of the season behind, besides maybe a Luis Severino. But I think we should be a little better than 1-5. It's just that when things are going bad, everything goes bad. So we're on a 1-game winning streak. That's great. That's great. With this has to be carried going forward. We need to take this positive momentum and take it to our next series and do our thing. We're going to be playing the Reds, and the Reds aren't world beaters. They're not world beaters. We need to do well. Like I said, in our first 9 games, I would like us to be 6-3. More realistically, I said it will probably be 5-4. 6-3 would have been a good statement. We're 1-5, right? So obviously we can't do any of the things I wanted to do. At worst, be 5-4. We already have 4 losses. But if we could somehow go on a nice streak, win a couple games against the Reds, then at least we can put our heads up high as we face Atlanta. It's all about building that momentum. Okay, so now to get into the JD Martinez news, and let me see. Like I thought the date. I didn't see the date. Okay, so there were rumors that he could potentially be debuting this Sunday, which would mean he would be out around like 9 games. But it looks like he's not going to be ready. I mean, this is what I'm having trouble figuring out. And I know JD Martinez is very career conscious. He doesn't want to get off to a bad start because, just like the Mets got into this funk, he doesn't want to get into a funk because he knows he might be out of baseball next year. So he wants to put his best foot forward. He wants to feel the best. But on the flip side, I don't understand why this guy wasn't ready. I thought Boris had his own camp, his own spring training, and the guys would be ready to go. He's not a pitcher. That's why I'm a little like concerned. Why is it taking so long to ramp up? I mean, I know he'll eventually be there, but I feel like JD Martinez would be our second or third best hitter right now, even without being 100%. But okay, all right, I understand. The guy wants to be in the best position possible. He doesn't want to get hurt. All right. I'm just thinking as a fan, I want my best team there. Okay, so JD Martinez, once he comes back, that's going to be a big boost to the lineup. Francisco Alvarez, he is just, we're watching, and this is what I was kind of like thinking, we're watching a budding superstar, folks, a budding superstar. So in the middle of that lineup, once we get Lindor and Nimmo going, we're going to have a pretty dangerous middle of the lineup. Because look at this. You got Pete Alonso, you got JD Martinez, and you got Francisco Alvarez. And if Lindor and Nimmo get things going, that's a pretty damn good top five. Really. Despite the offense being very anemic right now, there is something to look forward to. And we have some positive news on the horizon. And then you also have Mark Vientos, who is playing pretty decent in the minors. So he's also another guy. If you want to extend the lineup, he'll be a six hitter. I mean, we could put together a pretty nice lineup. And then you have the squirrel at number 7. And then there we go. We're lengthening the lineup. Obviously, you're going to need Bader as number 9 and then Marte. So, I mean, that could be a pretty decent lineup. They have to make it work with Vientos and Martinez in the DH. I got to see where Vientos would end up playing. Well, I guess that's assuming Beatty doesn't play. But all right, whatever. That's probably the problem they're having right now with bringing Vientos up. But Vientos is a guy who is he's a good stick. He's a good stick. So I always want my best bats on the major league roster. All right. What are your comments on today? Do you think the Mets are going to get this ball rolling, or do you think it's just going to go downhill? I mean, like I said, folks, we should have won 2 today. We should have won 2. And I guess in a way, we have to feel lucky that we did get that one, but all right. As long as we're in the game, that's what I want. I want to feel that we're able to win each and every game. In the first 4 games, I felt that we weren't playing well enough to win. We didn't have opportunities really to win. We were just playing so bad. I see the defense getting better. I see the pitching performances getting better. So that's what I like. And then you need timely hitting. And like I said, at the end of the day, also we have the emergence, the budding of a young superstar. All right, folks. Can't get any worse. Probably will. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe. I will see you soon. Have a great night, day, whenever you're listening to this. I will speak to you soon. Can't thank you enough.